you've been on the show a couple of times before. I've never really met you officially, but you are just stunning, honestly. And you're smaller than I had expected. Like,
well, I'm a little thinner than usual right now. I very unfortunately had the flu for like ever. Yeah, so I'm actually looking to put on a couple pounds.
Oh no, you and I have been the same.
But because normally I normally have a little more heft. But, I know that picture of health and wellness.
That make of a difference. Anyway, we'll talk about that for sure. But let me quickly first.
We don't need to talk about that.
Well, no, because I've been battling. I'm now on the very tail end of my cold.
Yeah.
But
Jeez,
it's just been
brutal.
But I'm blaming my 2-year-old.
Me too.
Okay. See, I've never been so sick in my life since this baby was born. It's just like,
oh my gosh. I know.
Okay,
and it's endless. And they get like a running nose for a week, and you're down for weeks. I know.
And meanwhile, they're running circles around us.
I know.
Oh my God. Anyway, you guys, I know I'm boring you with our baby talk. I know I talk about the baby all the time. No. Listen, we are hanging out with Jillian Michaels. Of course, you've seen her. She's on that show, The Biggest Loser. She's a personal trainer, entrepreneur, author.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we've got it all with Jillian. I'm very excited to talk to her about the show and, of course, the new book. But let me quickly introduce you to everybody here, Jillian.
Okay.
This is Ayub. He's hanging out with us from Leicester. He's in England.
Wow.
Dayano is in Reno. We've got Kempton, who is with us from Calgary, Canada.
Hi, Jillian.
Stacy, who is in where?
North Carolina.
That's right, Wilmington. Sorry, I almost forgot. And the little baby, speaking of babies, we have this baby. This is Trev. He's hanging out with us from the UK as well. And we may see a couple of other faces pop up here while we're in the Hangout. But not only that, I want to say hi to all of the YouTubers who are watching. Thanks, you guys, for watching on air. Make sure you plus and comment, okay, and share the link. And if you have a question for Jillian, please tag me or anyone, and we'll get it to her, okay? So Jill's been on our show a few times before.
Yeah.
So we're very familiar with you, and I know you've tried to get some of these guys in shape today, right? Is that what you're doing today? Although you're not in your workout
I know.
today.
Not today. It's not actually a workout book. It's more of a diet book. So they're lucky they're getting away without being brutalized today.
Because usually I enjoy you, Steve, at times, as many of us do.
People seem to.
This is called Slim for Life. And some tips on how to eat well and weight loss, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's all about simple strategies that you'll follow that are manageable, accessible, and affordable to help you lose weight, keep it off, and then it also deals with any diet dilemma you could come up against, from
and there's
plateaus,
so many. Yes.
hunger, cravings.
Yes, absolutely. I know that these guys have perhaps a question or two for you. So when you guys have a question, you know the drill. Just get my attention, please, and I will get to Jillian. Stacy, did you have a question off the bat, or is it Kempton?
I have lots of questions.
Yes, you do. Our resident fitness expert, by the way. Stacy's a personal trainer herself.
Hi, Stacy.
That's why I look like I just crawled out of a hole because I had a class this morning.
Gosh, you're teaching and you've just had a baby. Good for you. That's amazing.
I actually just posted a picture on my profile last night. I was all proud of myself because I've lost all of my baby weight, and she's
good
7 months ago. It was my second one.
Oh,
yeah.
Right, she's so cute.
And she was 10 pounds. So.
Oh my gosh.
Lord.
How did you do that?
Well, she does the pull.
I yelled at my husband a lot.
Yeah, I bet. My son was 9 pounds, and my partner, it was like 105 pounds.
Oh, she was
soaking
tiny.
wet. But of course, with the baby, she got up to 140, and yeah, she couldn't do it. We had to do this 27 hours of labor.
Yeah.
And I was like, I called the gate.
My first was a C-section, and he was only 7.5 pounds. And I went natural with this one. They're like, oh no, she'll be the same size.
Oh.
4 hours later, she comes out, and the doctor's like, oh, she's just huge. That's why it took so long.
Oh my
gosh, you poor thing.
And congrats, because you have lost all of your baby weight.
Yeah, that's
awesome. I posted a picture of my up-and-coming back six-pack.
So awesome.
That's so cool.
So jealous.
But I wanted to first of all say that you're fabulous. I love it. It's such an inspiration to see a very strong and have such a strong personality and a female fitness trainer. It's absolutely fabulous. You usually, especially being in a male-dominated field, because the people still think of gyms. I work at Gold's Gym. It's still like we have the little dude on there that's really scary. like our logo is the big scary muscly guy. So when people
Right.
think of gym and weightlifting, they think they get intimidated and they're scared. And would you shush?
You guys. Okay, what's your question, Stacy? Go ahead.
I wanted to ask you, what is the best way to get across to people who have that intimidation factor, who may feel that they need to lose weight before they go to the gym?
Yeah, I often tell people that you want to go to a gym that you feel has a supportive environment. So go and visit several different gyms. If you're a woman and you're uncomfortable about your body, of course I would encourage you not to be, and to get out there and take no prisoners and accept yourself, and anybody who's judging you is a jerk anyway. But
Exactly.
if you can't get over it, try an all women's gym in the beginning. And once you start making friends, take a class, you're going to see the people are actually really supportive and really engaging. They want to be helpful. And I think that it's really about taking that first step. Again, if I would say last case scenario, if you're just not comfortable even going to a women's only gym, then start a walking routine at home, do some fitness videos at home until you think you've got a base level of fitness and you're feeling a little more confident, and then go visit the gyms and test them out.
Exactly. That walking is so valuable, you know.
It's easy.
That's a great start to get
accessible.
moving.
Can I try a diet question, Jillian?
Yeah.
So once in a while, me and my better half would go on a binge. For me, it's the potato chips. If I crack open a bag of potato chips, I'm done. Like I'm finished. I would finish half a big bag. Or for her, last night was the cookies. So she opened a can of cookies, and before she would know it, maybe 10 or 15 cookies left.
Oh, no.
So how do you stop the binge?
Okay.
My question.
There are a couple different strategies. The first one is to control your environment. So instead of getting you're never supposed to open those huge bags of anything.
You shouldn't even buy those huge bags unless you have a huge party.
Don't.
Don't.
Exactly. Never do that. So for example, like Pop Chips is a brand that I invested in. They pop the chips. They're not fried. They're 100 calories in a bag about yay big. There's no trans fats, no artificial flavors, colors, nothing. There's no chemicals in them whatsoever. So it's 100 calories, tastes great, and you've got your little bag, and you go and you sit with it, and that's it. So you want to control the portions. Buy the snack size. Go and buy a cookie at the bakery and bring that home in the day. Don't get the boxes or the bags of cookies. And this way, you
won't
can't
be
eat
tempted to
what
go more.
You can't eat what isn't there.
Yeah, because those darn Girl Scout cookies.
Oh, Girl Scout cookies.
I mean, you can't just buy.
I give them away.
Yeah.
I get sucked into it by the
I
neighbor
know.
kids, and the first thing I do is just start.
That's what
Give
I'm
me
going to do. I have a stack in my office over there, so I need to
Yeah,
give
you bring them to
away.
work. Give them away.
Okay, who did I miss for a question? Did I get anyone? I had a question for Jillian, definitely. I was talking about this with a couple of the people in the Hangout here earlier. I am one who the work and workout really gets me down. And I have tried it. I have had a trainer, and I have tried it. And I'm thin, so naturally thin, so it's hard, but I need to do it for my heart and my health.
Yeah.
I get it. How do I get over the hump of how do I just keep motivated, that kind of thing?
Here's what I would suggest to you. You want to try different things and find something you love. So
Yes.
a lot of people like Zumba. Because
I haven't tried that yet.
see,
You're right. So I
try to
haven't tried
take
that
the work
or that bar method
out of it. So
Right.
bar method, a lot of people love that. I get bored. It's not enough. I need something more dynamic personally.
That may be perfect for me.
But and a
Right.
lot of people love it.
Exactly.
So you may love yoga. You might love
Just didn't
Zumba.
like yoga. Yeah.
Okay, but Zumba's more fun and it's
Yeah.
dancing, or you might like a martial arts class.
I know. I might like Zumba. You're right.
I love Zumba.
Or spin class. A lot of people are obsessed with indoor cycling,
So just
and
keep
it's way
trying.
more accessible. Try a flywheel class. Flywheel's just opened up 3 locations.
Flywheel. I've never heard of
Oh,
that.
they're the hottest thing. Blows Soul Cycle out the door. It's the coolest indoor stadium, spinning, and the music's awesome. The teachers are great. The vibe is good, and you work at your own pace. So I think a fun class is really going to help you be more engaged.
Okay, I just have to keep looking, and I'm going to try Zumba. That's next on the list. Yes, go ahead.
Um,
Well, so I mean, I'm one to talk in terms of health and fitness. I'm not exactly the healthiest or the fittest person around, but I do see that there's a lot of talk recently about people who are too thin or have lost too much weight or are unhealthily thin. What do you do when someone like that comes to you for help?
You really try to help them understand what health is about. That health is not about skinny, even though it's a great word.
No,
and
it's not.
people throw it around.
Yeah.
Health is not about skinny. Health is about cholesterol, blood sugar, blood
Blood
pressure, yeah, bone density. And I send everybody to their doctor to get their checkup and check these numbers, whether they're overweight or they're underweight or they're perfect, because that's really your best barometer of what health looks like. And when you're too thin, your bone density is probably going to suffer. There's all kinds of other things that could be going on with your hormone balance and your health. So that's a really nice barometer of what's healthy and what isn't. And at that point, your doctor can make recommendations of, you should gain X amount of weight, 10 pounds, 5 pounds even. But the way to gain your weight is to increase your calories 10% a week. Till you get to a place where your body, because some people are just eating so little, where your body is now consuming 10% more than you're burning in a day. So, and it's really simple. You can
formula that you
can, I actually have, in there I have what's called your active metabolic rate. So you can figure out what it is. It's really easy. You could probably even go on Google and Google AMR calculator, and then you want to eat 10% more than that. So you do it in conjunction with exercise, and it becomes muscle, not fat. That's how you build muscle.
What do you say to those who they work all day? They have a second job. To try to eat healthier is such a challenge. I mean, honestly, as a working mom, it's so hard. Like,
I do get it. You've got to plan ahead. So what I say to people is, I want you to eat well 80% of the time. 80% of the time, I want you to make
that's a realistic goal. Yeah.
That is the goal that's going to get you true, solid, lasting results. 80% of the time. So if you're coming to the office and there's bagels and there's donuts and there's coffee,
you saw a bunch.
I did. My first thing would be to go and say, look, can we get another option here? How about some yogurt and some fruit?
I do a half. That's my discipline.
I have a bit, I would say I would rather see you having something that was more whole grain in the morning. Okay, there you go, a banana,
mix it up.
a little bit, an oatmeal possibly. Yes. Oatmeal's so easy. So you got to bring your own. If you're on the go, you want things you can grab and go with. So breakfast could be a little packet of oatmeal. It could be, it's obviously you'd like some protein, but if you can't make it happen, that's a better option than a bagel or a donut or some fruit. Yogurt is really a really good option. Some low-fat yogurt is good, preferably without the fruit junk on the bottom. You can get Oikos is my favorite brand, something of that nature.
That's like the Greek yogurt.
Yeah.
See, those have a lot of sugar and stuff.
Let me see. I gotta see the ingredients.
Some of this.
I'll tell you right now.
And
whole grain oats, sugar is the second ingredient.
I told you.
Okay, and here's the trick. Are you ready for the trick? And I explain this in the book. Polydextrose, maltodextrin.
What is that?
Sugar. So oligofructose. So there's 3 separate names for sugar in here.
Yeah.
And what they do is they spread out all these different.
It's all basically sugar.
Yeah, but the problem is the very first ingredient instead of whole grain oats would be sugar. So by putting in different kinds of sugar.
How tricky they are.
Yeah, it's really. I explain the whole thing in Slim for Life. And then another thing, it's got artificial sweetener in here as well. So it's got sucralose, which is really bad for you. So yeah, this you kind of want to avoid.
Again, if you don't know what it is and what it means, it's often
you want to. Yeah, I tell people I'm okay with a scoop of ice cream. I'm okay with the fries or the piece of pizza.
Okay.
But I just the chemicals. Really, you don't need them. You should do without them as often as possible.
Exactly.
Yeah. Speaking about sugar, one thing I want to point out, we used to drink a carton of juice a lot, like those orange juice. Oh, those have a ton of sugar in the cup. We stopped drinking it.
Gatorade all the time, and I said to him, I go, honey, unless you're running a marathon, you really shouldn't be drinking that.
Why is he drinking Gatorade?
He thinks that tastes better than water, and I started
sugar.
to take him off of that habit.
That's what I do with people that want like a naturally flavored water, I'll do vitamin water zero, which is sweetened with stevia. And
that's better than the Gatorade.
Way better because it doesn't have the artificial color, or all the sugar, all the garbage in it. Another thing is a natural way to flavor your water. I think Crystal Light has something called Pure Fitness. And again, it's just stevia and like fruit flavors. It's not artificial. And that's also a good option.
Vitamin water zero.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
I'll drink water.
Try that. Definitely. Renzo, did you have a question?
Yes. Hi, Jillian. Nice to meet you.
Renzo's in Venezuela this morning.
I'm in
that's so
South
cool.
America. You're really cute, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, I have a big problem since I have a really fast metabolism. I think I need a program called like the Faster Eater, you know, because I need to eat a lot. So I
Men
mean,
have these problems. It drives me crazy.
so I mean, what do you think it's my ideal diet so I can eat properly and like if I start to hit the gym like right now?
You would want to reverse everything that someone does to lose weight. So for you, you want to be eating throughout the day, which is actually the worst thing for weight loss. That's a huge myth that eating throughout the day is good for weight loss. It's not. Terrible for weight loss.
See, we've heard that you have to eat every 2 or 3 hours,
No.
but you're eating. No, that's
Huge
wrong.
mistake.
What is,
Because then you've got insulin surging all day long and your body is having to store all that sugar from the food that you're constantly consuming. And unless you're out there working out, that sugar's got to go somewhere so it gets stored as fat. You want to eat, again, I debunk all these myths in Slim for Life. You want to eat every 4 hours if you're trying to lose weight. Breakfast, lunch, snack, dinner, no grazing, no skipping meals. If you want to gain weight, it becomes the exact opposite. That's when you do want to be eating every 2 hours, as often as you possibly can, because you're trying to pack those calories in there and keep your body from digging into any stores so that you can start packing on weight instead of taking off weight. Another thing you want to do, you want really complex foods like complex carbohydrates. So again, it becomes the whole grains. You want that protein in there so you can be building muscle. So a very balanced ratio, I'd say 40% protein, 30% carbs, 30% healthy fats, and lift weights. So you want to go heavy as you can.
heavy. Renzo, everyone wishes they had your problem. We have to go because Jillian won't get on the spot. Can you guys take a quick photo of us, please?
Absolutely.
Yeah.